I might be showing too much behind the curtain here, but making these videos was ultimately an incredibly calculated move. And so I wanted to be a writer. And I know you might think, writing videos, not the same thing. And yeah, I understand that, but we're going to get into that a bit more though. I was also entering my 30s and wanting to be a writer at the entry point to my 30s and contemplating the dream that I'd had to be a writer, which I'd had for many, many years, but which I had not yet really fully acted on. And it did seem very much like, okay, like this is the moment. If you don't do it now, will you ever? You probably won't. If you're not going to take the steps you need to be a writer, well, like you might as well put the dream to bed right now. What I've learned, though, about the publishing industry is that you can't just come in with some skill and a dream and a nice manuscript. You have to come in with an audience, pre-built, pre-existing. And so I thought, well, I always thought YouTube videos would be fun to make, and I suppose that could be a way that I could potentially build an audience for my writing. And also, if we're going to go into the economics of the whole thing, I understood too that, well, if you have success on social media, that can serve as an income stream in itself. And so I thought that then I could use the social media not only to build my necessary following, but to fund my writing process. Because one thing about me that I guess I need to kind of make clear here, and one of the annoying particularities of the way I work, is that I don't do very well with having a 9-to-5 job and also doing my creative projects alongside it. You see, I'm not one of those, here's my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. No, it doesn't work. I have tried so hard, when I had a 9-to-5 job, which I currently don't have, but when I did, oh my God, I tried so hard to fit my writing in around the 9-to-5 job. I tried getting up early. That was it didn't work very well. I felt like I'd maybe get an hour of writing in and that was all I'd get in the day. And then it was just really this stream of consciousness stuff. It was not useful. Or then when my workday finished, I'd be like, oh no, but I have to get an adequate level of physical activity into my day. And I also have to grocery shop and I have to cook and I have to run any other errands I have to run. And I'm also already mentally and emotionally exhausted from my 9-to-5 job. And so how then, amid the mental and emotional exhaustion and all the other things that I need to do just to maintain a life and a household, how am I supposed to? So the promise of a potentially self-sustaining passive source of income while I'm writing my novel. Well, if I say passive income, yeah, right, this is not passive. This is not passive, but a somewhat self-sustaining source of income that is derived entirely from my thoughts. There we go. That's better. I thought that would be very, very beneficial to my writing projects. In the first few months when I started making these videos, it was fun. Haven't I just found the best of both worlds? I am pursuing both my joy and my success. I have figured it out. I have cracked the code of life. And of course, though, life is never that simple. Life is never that easy. As I was having all this fun, the drive for success started becoming stronger. I found myself obsessing over analytics, as you do. I started thinking that I need to choose my topics based on, oh my God. I started thinking that I needed to curry favor with the algorithms. I started thinking that I needed to make my videos a lot more aesthetically pleasing. I felt like I was making these huge efforts every day, thinking, filming, making sure I look okay so that I can appear on camera, and just trying so hard in every area of my life, and all the while trying to squeeze this in amid my writing goals and try to be producing writing every day as well. And as I'm going through all of this, I knew it wasn't good. But I couldn't help myself. I had to keep going. And this all was happening because of what I'm going to call the catch-22. Here, I'll explain. Okay. So my desires haven't changed. I still want to be a writer. I still want to write a novel. And honestly, I still want to make videos. I still want to put my ideas out into the world in kind of a more informal and real-time way. But but the path to getting there seems a lot more convoluted than I ever would have imagined when I started this project. Because you see, it can feel like to have success on the internet in this day and age, you already have to have had success. That's the catch-22 of it all. That you can't just come in and be a new person with a new perspective. No. Why would the algorithms favor you? Why? Because are they going to actually make like quick money off of you if you're not a recognizable presence on the internet? No. Much better to like promote the videos of people who already have a large following. I mean, same with writing. I mean, I'm on Substack as well. Like that's the exact same game. I mean, in fact, I would say Substack is even like more blatant in just promoting people who already have success on the platform. Like it's infuriating. Like it's honestly infuriating. It bothers me so much because I'm like, why was there only a short period of time on the internet when people with ideas and something to say could gain a level of, success. And then that period of time, just like it was cut off because like enough people had success. And it was like, okay, those will be our internet luminaries and we will have no one else. And of course, I could blame myself for this predicament. I could acknowledge that maybe I just got it all wrong and maybe I have just bitten off more than I can chew and that I should just keep my desires modulated. But then I also have to wonder, well, why would I want a life that I don't want? A lot of the time when I talk about these dreams I have and the accompanying discontents, I'm also often met with this idea that, well, most people in human history have not lived fulfilled lives, or most people have just buckled down and done whatever it is they're supposed to do as dictated by the society of the time. Most people have not had the ability to, pursue their dreams or to become the thing that they most want to become, to create the thing they most want to create. And I guess I can see that yes, most people have not. But I think that that's kind of a very limiting way to look at life and to look at the world. It's like, why would we condemn ourselves to lives that feel just a little bit miserable, just a little bit boring, just a little bit unfulfilling, where it always feels like there was something maybe in the background, some opportunity we missed, something we could have done, but we lost that chance at some point along the way. And why is it the conventional wisdom, if you can call it wisdom, to just accept that? Why can't we be happy? It's kind of like that Mary Oliver quote, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? And yes. By the way, fun fact, I wanted that to be my like yearbook quote in high school, like the quote that goes under my name, but I was told that it was too long and it wouldn't fit. So instead I went with like kind of I know it's not the exact quote from Groucho Marx, but instead I went with, I've had a wonderful time, but this wasn't it. See, I've always been this malcontent. And I think, like, I enjoy being the malcontent sometimes. Like, I think it's funny. I guess, it's like, not everyone thinks it's funny, but I think it's funny. Anyway, why would I not want to take full advantage of my one wild and precious life? Why would I want to spend all of my time doing some sort of work that I don't want to do, that doesn't fulfill me, and that ultimately doesn't pay me enough to even live a decent quality of life? Like, why would I choose that over trying to pursue my dream? But as I'm thinking all of this, though, there's still something in the background that doesn't feel right about it. And it still just feels like I'm talking a lot about myself. And I'm thinking a lot about individual success. But as I think back on the past year or so of trying to pursue this creative life, there's always something in the back of my mind that feels like I'm missing something. I think I have it all too tied up in myself, my conception of myself, my idea of personal success, and the way that this idea of personal success is very much that. It's personal. But what if it's bigger than that? Because when I look at all of these issues I'm having with pursuing my idea of personal success, as I think about how I want to be a writer and feel that I can't become a writer, I think I'm getting at something more in the system of life. It's more tied up in how our working lives are structured. It's tied up in how our economies are structured. It's tied up in the fact that indeed, so many people cannot live the lives they want to live. We can't live the lives we want to live because our lives, I guess, are not then profitable enough to those who want to make money off of us. Like, it really is as simple as that. And so, indeed, like, I'm having trouble having my individual success, and I'm having trouble with that because ultimately my ideas are not currently profitable. What I have to contribute to the system is not profitable. No one's going to make a lot of money off of me posting these videos because I haven't already had that success as a video maker. And same with me being a writer. I haven't had that success as a writer. Like, you can't guarantee that if I write an article and I submit it to a publication that it's going to get a bunch of readers because I don't have a recognizable name. And so because it's not going to get a bunch of readers on that publication, and that publication gets its money based on advertising, no one's going to have any incentive to publish me. And then even if I self-publish, likewise, my work isn't going to be driven out to people on the platforms where I can self-publish because, again, I'm not a recognizable name. We can't guarantee that people are going to read my stuff, and therefore the platform isn't going to make its money. And so we're stuck. Like, this is the catch-22. This is where we're caught. And so I come into this thinking about my individual success and wanting my individual success. Like, I still want it. I still want to write my novel, and I still want people to read it, and I still want it to make an impact in society. But right now I feel very, 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 very stymied in this project. And I'm asking for a different way. I'm asking for a different world. I want a different world. Isn't that adorable? But I am left imagining something better. And in this ideal world, I guess, I could see us having something like universal basic income. And maybe we have platforms for artists to put their work out into the world that are not so solely driven by advertising money and that are more driven by, I don't know, people finding the stuff they want and people sharing what they want. And I'm not like a business person. I'm not an economist. I don't know how any of this would actually look. Like, I don't come here with all of the answers. I come here with like a very specific experience from an experiment that I've been doing in, I guess, my own life over the past several months, where I'm coming to this realization where it's not easy and where I can't necessarily do all that I thought I was going to do. But I just can envision a world where I could work more at my own pace, where I wouldn't have to keep up with this frenetic pace dictated by these platforms that I have to post a video every week and an essay every week, and I have to write 2,000 words in my novel every day, and I have to keep this all going forever because that is how I can potentially one day, first of all, have like a creative career, because this is the only way I can see to support myself and still have like a level of autonomy in my time and my days. Like, this is the only way that I don't have my entire schedule dictated by someone else who's saying, okay, yeah, you have to like work for us. Let's say 9 to 5. Could be longer than that, though. Often it's longer than that. Often they want more. And then also, like, after that, you can't just have completely free time because you have to do all the other things of life. You're not going to have completely free time. Like, that's too much to ask. And so I keep wondering, like, what it would feel like if I just had my time to do what I wanted to do, if I wouldn't feel such pressure to create. And if I wouldn't feel such, like, semi-burnout coming down the pike, because that's what I'm very much feeling these days, is that I'm trying so hard to do so much, and I feel like I'm doing absolutely everything, but at the same time, somehow not enough. Like, I feel like I'm always thinking about my projects, but I'm never getting anywhere fast anyway. And I need it to move a little faster if I'm going to make this into a viable venture. But at the same time, I'm not sure I can move faster. I'm pretty tired. And I'm trying to like get myself to a point where I'm like calm and comfortable and just feel fine about it. But it's really hard. Really hard. But still, I mean, I can dream. I can dream about a better world, even if I don't necessarily fully believe that it will ever come to pass. And I guess, like, as I talk about all of this, I mean, I do feel like I want to provide some complete vision of the society of the future, a perfect world that would solve all of my problems and all of those of others. As I think about this, though, I see how it all kind of plays into the same old individualistic echo chamber or something. This same old individualistic like echo chamber of my own thoughts, where I'm always contemplating, thinking about all the ways in which I am currently not completely satisfied, and also thinking about all the ways that things could be better, but I feel like I'm lacking the answers. And as I think about this further, though, I realize, like, I'm not supposed to have all of the answers myself. Like, that would be crazy if I, myself, came up with every answer for how to solve this whole societal problem. Of course I can. And so I think what I'm advocating for, really, is just, maybe instead of locking ourselves into these individual chambers of our own success, where we're trying so hard to create something for ourselves, maybe it's time for us to start thinking of new ways to help each other out along the way. And maybe it's through those kinds of interactions that we can get to something better. And I don't have the answer even as to how to create those interactions, but I believe that they could take shape. And I hope they will start to take shape. And I want to start finding avenues in my own life where I can create those sorts of interactions. I mean, whether that's like going to local events or, connecting with other people in my immediate community who have maybe similar ideas and views to me, or maybe who have had similar issues and sticking points in the process to attaining this perfect ideal of individual success. And maybe something will start to take shape that feels a bit better than what I have right now. Because like what I have right now, I have to say, like, this is not it. This just is not it. Yay! One video done. Oh shit.